We welcome this gentleman to the program. He has found a fan base with his work on Entourage, and now he has a documentary film that he wants all of us to see. We welcome in Adrian Grenier. Good morning, Adrian.
Good morning, guys.
Hey, man, listen, Adrian, you work out at this, or sometimes, occasionally work at the same gym I do. And this documentary, Teenage Paparazzo, that debuts on HBO tonight at 9 p.m., kind of looks at what motivates people to stalk the famous. And I find it so interesting that you would put this, or this is your project, you directed and produced the film, because when you're there, or when, you know, another huge name is in the gym, and I walk in the door, I can see behind bushes and trees, and sometimes just standing by a van, maybe 12 camera guys just waiting to get a shot of you. I mean, what kind of life is that? Is it difficult?
Yeah, well, you know, it was always just sort of something you take for granted. You're like, all right, they're the paparazzi, they're sort of inevitable. You know, that's what you got to live with.
Right.
And then suddenly, from within this big group, this massive photographers, you see this little shimmering light, this little innocent baby-faced boy with a camera twice the size of his head, holding his own with these big guys, and suddenly it just, you know, it's like, what is going on? This has gone way too far. This little kid is doing it now.
And this is the genesis of this. You befriended, I guess, this 14-year-old kid?
Well, more like I grabbed him by the collar. I said, what the hell are you doing? Where are your parents? That was my first question. Where are your parents?
Right.
And so that sort of gave me the idea that I would turn the cameras on this kid and use him as a way to infiltrate the paparazzi and get to the bottom of it.
Well, I'm interested. What was his answer when you asked, where are your parents?
He said, they're cool. They're cool.
Now, for a 14-year-old, I mean, one of the reasons these paparazzi guys are so motivated is because they get paid huge coin for the proper shot at the proper time of an improper situation. Is he making big bank to do this?
Well, yeah, I mean, he's definitely making more than he would be if he was selling lemonade.
Yeah,
that's for sure. But furthermore, it's a lot of fun. I mean, I tried it myself. In fact, if you in the film, you'll see, you know, I took a camera and I went out and I tried to get a couple shots myself, and I got to say, it tickled this sort of primal instinct of the hunt. You know, the chase, the excitement of tracking down your prey, and you know,
interesting.
You can't blame these guys if they're making bank. They're not sitting behind a desk, and they're out there, you know, having a good time. You know, how can you blame them?
Now, when you tried it, can you name the stars you were stalking, or should we wait till we see it tonight?
Why, Brooke Shields was one of them, and it was funny because, you know, she of course wasn't expecting to see me,
right,
as a paparazzi, and it took one of the other guys to point out that I was there before she realized it was me, and then it just became this weird Hall of Mirrors thing.
Now, Adrian, assuming these guys are all independent, you know, not just the 14-year-old, but all pretty much everybody, then what is the next step to getting those pictures sold? What do they do?
Well, I mean, we explore the business of paparazzi, you know, taking the pictures, sending them out, then, you know, going up to the editors and all the magazines, and, you know, then negotiation for the price and all that sort of. I mean, depending on the exclusivity of the photo or how many other paparazzi are around there, or the angle. I mean, there are also so many different elements that go into this business.
Teenage Paparazzo debuts on HBO tonight at 9 p.m. Now, Adrian, Entourage, we were talking about this past season you just wrapped. And it's a general consensus in here that you maybe enjoyed this season more than maybe the previous 5 because, I don't know, we got to see a little darker side of you.
Well, it was definitely a treat to be able to take Vince to another place and go dark. You know, sort of Vince's evil twin brother came out, and that was fun to play.
Going back to the paparazzi, you know, fully understand that these guys, it's their livelihood, and they're paid for the photographs that they take. But don't you agree that once the paparazzi can sometimes get in a car and chase down their victim in the streets of Los Angeles, or I've heard that they will yell rude, taunting things just to get the celebrity to turn toward them. Does this not cross the line, and does your film deal with that?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it comes down to personal responsibility and what's guiding you ethically as an individual. There are laws that govern. You can't break any laws. There are laws that keep people from, doing, indulging certain behavior and dangerous behavior. But at the end of the day, you have to look yourself in the mirror and say, am I just making a bunch of excuses about what I'm doing? Mm-hmm. Am I really understanding and empathizing with these people that I'm exploiting? And do I want to teach this to young kids like Austin? Is tabloid culture something we want to teach our kids? That's something you have to ask yourself.
Well, every time I see these magazines at the grocery stores, which I don't read, but I see all of these people that are on the covers of these magazines that have no virtual talent. They're stars of reality shows, and these magazines and these photographs, they keep these people, on the covers of these magazines, and I really can't find any talent in the individual. What's happened? How can somebody with no talent become a major star?
Well, I guess you have to define talent, really. I mean, when I look at some of these characters, I'm impressed by they walk out of their house and they're in character. It's as if this is their show. The tabloid magazine is their outlet. That's how they perform. Mm-hmm. It's. I got to say, it's entertainment. It's a story. You use performers, entertainers, celebrities to tell these particular kinds of stories. So, I'm not comparing it to Entourage, but they're not completely different. I mean, we tell stories about celebrities. They tell stories about celebrities. It's just the difference is we actually ask people permission and invite them on and give them coffee.
See the diff right there? HBO, 9 p.m., Teenage Paparazzo. Thank you, Adrian.
Hey, thanks, guys.
I'm intrigued. I'm going to have to TiVo that.
Yeah. It's kind of cool. The whole thing started with he was being hounded by, and then he looked around and saw this 14-year-old kid, and it just intrigued him, and he decided to do a documentary about it. Kind of cool.
Wow.